Well, hey there. Welcome to Real WW Talk. I am Erin. And if you are brand new, welcome. I typically do this with my friends Candice and Rikki, but they're both taking just a little bit of time off. But we didn't want to go into Thanksgiving week without some kind of encouragement for you. So, one of our most favorite Weight Watchers meetings is called the Great Plate Meeting. It's something that they used to do at Thanksgiving every year, and a couple years ago, they stopped doing it, and our little group revolted and made our WW coach do it with us. We're like, forget the WW plan. We're doing the Great Plate. So, if you're fairly new to WW within probably like the last 4 years or so, you're like, I have no idea what the Great Plate is. No problem, because we're going to do this together. And so the Great Plate is this really awesome hands-on meeting where we are going to plan out our Thanksgiving dinner. Okay. So you're going to need to do this, either a paper plate or a piece of paper that you can draw a circle on, which is what I have. Or if you're a total rebel and you're like, I'm not going to do any of those, you can use your imagination. No problem. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to, well, if you've got a piece of paper like me, I'm just going to draw a really big bad circle on it. Okay, it's a very modern plate that I'm drawing here. And what I want you to do is just envision your Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, think about the day. Are there appetizers? Are there drinks? Is it a buffet? Is it a sit down dinner? What are the things that you usually eat every year at your Thanksgiving dinner? Okay, so if you start to marinate and think about those things. Um, I am going to draw on my plate, and I've got a little list. You're going to see me dipping back and forth because I wrote down all the things that we have at my family. And so you're going to grab your plate or your piece of paper with the poorly drawn circle. Maybe yours is drawn a little bit better. And we're actually going to draw on our plate those items. So my family, we don't do any appetizers. We just head straight in for the kill and we go right into dinner. We are also not big drink people either. So there's not going to be any wine at our table or anything drink wise that would have points like mulled ciders or anything like that. So I'm going to be having a zero ginger ale. So I'm just going to put like another little circle here in the corner for my drink, and I'm also going to have some water. But if you plan on having some kind of a cocktail or wine or something like that, or a fancy sugar drink, something, whatever it is, you want to account for that too. So maybe draw that off onto the side. All right. So you've gone through and you've thought about, hey, this is what we're going to be having. And we're going to start drawing it onto our plate. So on my Thanksgiving dinner, I for sure am going to be having turkey. I know there's some folks who do ham or do roast beef or even do lasagna for different options. Whatever your main thing is, go ahead and draw it on your table. So I'm drawing a big section of turkey on my plate, and I'm going to write turkey down up in the corner. Okay. And then as you do this too, think about your portion sizes. Think about if you're going to be eating a quarter cup of something, maybe it's a half a cup or a cup, whatever it is. There's no shame in this game. Okay. This is a special day. All we're doing is thinking about what we would normally eat on this day. So I've got my turkey down, and I'm definitely going to be doing the 3 ounces of turkey. I also have a corner carved out for about a quarter of a cup of sauerkraut and pork, which is a total Baltimore thing. Okay, I'm writing out sauerkraut and pork. However, I only grab the sauerkraut portion. I don't usually do like the pork portion of it, but I've got that down. Now, I love sweet potatoes, so I'm going to be having a half a cup of sweet potatoes. And because it is Thanksgiving, I'm going to be making them with butter and brown sugar because that's the way they really should be eaten, in my opinion. Okay. So I've got that on my plate. And then I will also have some roasted Brussels sprouts. My sister-in-law makes those and they're so delicious. And she gets them so they're like super crispy and they're so good. And she does this like balsamic glaze over top of it. Oh, can't wait. Okay, so I'm putting down a half a cup of Brussels sprouts, and I just spelled Brussels wrong. I left the R out of it. But you can see it. There's my little plate. If you're on the podcast, just use your imagination for what I'm drawing. Now, I make the gravy. Y'all, I make the family gravy. And it starts by roasting turkey wings to make the stock for the gravy. Okay. Now, I have calculated this, I've run it through the recipe builder, and I know for me, my quarter cup of gravy will be 3 points. And I'm actually going to go add that over to where the turkey space is, because I know that's what it's going to go on. Actually, I better make that a half a cup. I'm going to put 6 points down for that, because I also make a cauliflower mash. Now, I will get a head of cauliflower. I'll break it up. I'll toss it in a tablespoon of olive oil and then salt it really well. And I'll add a little bit of sage, and I'll toss it with a chopped onion, a couple cloves of garlic, and then I'll roast it at 425 for like 30 minutes. So it just gets that really just, I don't know, golden flavor, if that makes sense, that really roasty goodness. Then I put it in my food processor and I blend it all up. And that's how I make my cauliflower mash. So I'm definitely having a solid half cup of that. And that's only 1 point. And I'm going to put a quarter cup of the gravy over top of that. Okay. Then I make, because I'm gluten free, I make dinner rolls, and I make dinner rolls for the entire family. And I've already put that recipe into the recipe builder, and I'm going to have 2 dinner rolls. That's my little splurgy, because I never eat dinner rolls, but it's Thanksgiving. Okay. Oh, and on those dinner rolls, I'm putting butter, but I'm going to do a tablespoon of butter in between. I'll split that for both. Okay. So I'm writing butter down. And then cranberry sauce. I love the jellied cranberry sauce. I wish Candice and Rikki are here right now, because I'm going to imagine that neither of them like the cranberry sauce, because we always seem to be at odds on those types of things. All right, but I'm going to put down a quarter cup of cranberry sauce. Okay, how's your plate looking? Is it looking good so far? Please go into the Real WW Talk Facebook group and drop your little plates. I would love to see them. I'll take a picture of this and pop it up there. I might redo it, make it look a little bit better. All right. And then desserts. All right. So I'm going to make like a separate dessert plate over on the side. And I am making this year pecan pie. I have not had pecan pie in a really long time, and I just want it this year. And my sister-in-law loves it. And so we're going to be pecan pie buddies on this. All right. So I'm having a full slice. I'm not doing a small slice. I'm doing the real thing. And then my mom is going to make this apple slab pie, and I love that. But I'm going to do a little bit of that because I really want the pecan pie. So I'm just going to write like half a slice on that. Okay. Now, take a look at your plate. Take a look at everything that's on there. Double check all of it. Are these the portion sizes that you want? Are these the portion sizes you're going to have? And I think that's a really important distinction between the side of us that's like, oh, I'll only do this because we're being quote unquote good in our head. And then we get there in front of all of the food and we're just not realistic in this moment. So be realistic. Are you going to have 3/4 of a cup of the macaroni and cheese? Put it down. Don't put down a quarter of a cup. Put down what you really, really want to eat. Okay. And now we're going to go back and then we're going to total everything up. Now you may need to go ahead and pull out your WW app and look up the points for things. I already looked up all the points for mine. I'm going to be doing the turkey breast with the skin. And for 3 ounces, that is 4 points. The sauerkraut and pork, I'm going to do a quarter of a cup. And I'm not going to be doing the pork with it. I looked that up in the app. There is a pork and sauerkraut in there, and it's 10 points for 1 cup or 2 points for a quarter of a cup. So I'm just going to go ahead and call that 2 points. The sweet potatoes with the butter and brown sugar. I've calculated this one up, and that looks like it's about 11 points. Now, if I was to do just the plain sweet potatoes, that's 3 points for half a cup. But I'm going full tilt, y'all. Okay. Gosh, that's a lot. 11. Okay. That's all right. It's all right. The roasted Brussels sprouts are going to be 3 points for the half cup. The gravy, I already said I know that a quarter of a cup is 3 points, so half a cup is going to be 6 points. And the cauliflower mash, I know is 1. Where is it on here? 1 point. I already got that on there. The dinner rolls are 3 points each, and I've already calculated them in the app again. And you know, sometimes if you do 2 servings, it can like add an extra point. These are 3 points per roll, and when I doubled it, they stayed 3 points. Hallelujah. The butter, because I'm going to do a tablespoon, that is 4 points. And the cranberry sauce is coming for me. Cranberry sauce is 7 points for the quarter of a cup. The pecan pie is in there. It's like 21, 22, 23. So naturally, I'm going to pick 21 on that one. 21 points for that. And the apple slab pie, that little half slice that I'm going to do is probably going to be around 10 points. Okay. Now add everything up. I have already pre-added all of my pieces, except I decided to add a little bit more on the gravy. So all of my points together are going to be close to around like 72 points for the meal. Woo! Okay. So if you've added yours up and yours is somewhere around there, or maybe it's a little bit more, maybe it's a little bit less, don't freak out. Again, it's Thanksgiving. A lot of these things that we're going to be eating, we just don't eat them every single day. This is a treat. And the whole point of the exercise is simply awareness. And I'll tell you, as I'm looking at this, I'm rethinking the sweet potatoes at 11 points. I think I might do the plain mashed sweet potatoes, and I'll have some butter and brown sugar on the side that people can add to it if they want to. And if I did that, that would take down 7 or 8 points for my meal. So it's what's worth it. I love the sweet potatoes. I like the brown sugar and cinnamon. Is it worth it for me for this? For this? That's the question that I'm asking myself. So 100%, that 21 points for the pecan pie, I am ready for that pie. The extra gravy, yes. The sweet potatoes, I'm a little on the fence on. So the cool thing is I know this, I'm aware the Thanksgiving meal will not be a surprise to me because I'm accounting for it. You know, one of the things that the girls and I that we talk about all the time is that where shame really starts to enter into the picture is when we start to hide the things, right? And this is really just about putting it on the perpetual table. That's it. We're just putting it out there for us to be aware of. I would always, after Thanksgiving, just feel terrible. I would feel so ashamed of myself of all the food that I eat. Even though I went in with the best of intentions, I would come away the next day having more than I wanted to, or sneaking an extra piece of pie that nobody knew about. And everybody did know about it because I started to wear it, on the outside because my weight went up. And I just determined a couple years ago, if I don't want to feel like that the next day, then I need to take steps today to make sure that doesn't happen. How do I want to hold myself accountable for that? Because I just don't like that feeling. I want to wake up on Friday with peace of mind and feeling proud of myself. So, one of the things that I'm going to do on that day, and I'm not doing it out of punishment, I'm not doing it because I'm trying to earn my dinner, but because I genuinely love to do this. I'm going to go for a walk in the morning. I'm not going to do a turkey trot because I still got to cook food for Thanksgiving, but I am going to carve time in the morning to go for a walk. And when I go for that walk, I tend to think about things that I'm grateful for. I tend to focus on gratitude on that walk, and that really helps set my tone for the day. So think about your Thanksgiving. If there is any type of fear or anticipation, like negative anticipation, write it out. What's the fear? What are you anticipating is going to happen? And make the steps to be able to correct it. We talk about our book, Atomic Habits from James Clear. And I know I've shared this many times, that one of my favorite lessons that I learned from that is you don't have to be perfect. A presidential election is not won with 100% of the vote. It's literally won, if I could say it right, with 51% of the vote, even sometimes, right? So just put a vote for yourself in this Thanksgiving in the win column. What feels like the win for you? If you find yourself at the end of Thanksgiving thinking, "Man, I've overindulged in this item," what do you want to do this year to not do that or maybe to feel differently? That's all we're doing is we're just putting it on the table, having an honest look at it so that we can feel really great about ourselves the next day. All right. That's it. That was fun. I love the Great Plate meeting. I'm so sad WW doesn't do it anymore, but I love that we get to make this our tradition in the Real WW Talk community. So, we wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving celebration with you and with your families, and I'd love to see your plates. Drop those in the Real WW Talk Facebook group. You can find us just by searching Real WW Talk, and of course, we're on Instagram, YouTube, and the podcast. So you can pop us in your pocket and take us maybe out for your gratitude walk on Thanksgiving. All right, we will see you next week. Bye.